I'm gonna redo the video. Like I said, the last one was too long and I mumbled too much. I'm gonna put these strings, electric guitar strings. These are 48, 38, 28, and some 18s. Basically, it's the Misfits gauge. Bought it for an electric guitar. Put too much lemon oil on the first one in the wrong spot. This is lemon oil. You're gonna need this. I've had it for a while. Mostly full. Very, very good. You can put it on the back of your neck, on the strings, on the wood. Try not to get it to seep into the frets or you might get weird dark spots, but it dries out, conditions the wood. I tried to show you how to remove these pegs and how to use them to put the string on. Gotta basically clean all of this, condition the frets with the lemon oil. It also helps get grime off, mostly. Actually put some back there by mistake, not a bad thing. Use a paper towel, make sure you don't get fuzzy stuff if you don't want them under this. And once you put it, you've seen strings hanging out, you just jiggle them until they fall out, but you need to wind it enough times so that once you get the pressure in between here and here, they don't fall out. You need to wind it a lot. It's a pain in the ass, a lot of winding, but it's worth it, because then you can just jiggle the string and it'll bust clean off and you'll have a perfectly stringed headstock. This is my guitar. It's an Ibanez Kalman acoustic, electric. Mostly acoustic, not that great for electric. Sometimes I tune it down 2 steps to get a really deep doom sound effect. 2.5 steps down even for stoner rock. This is Donkey Kong. Just some stickers on my guitar. Keep them in the back. Delicious beer. Tastes like orange peels and some kind of witchery. It's delicious. So, dropped on my strings here. We got 28, 38, 48. I'm gonna start off with this one for now. I'm gonna pull the string out. I wear short shorts apparently. Yep. Okay, so what you're gonna do here, you have this string, and I'm gonna show you how to put it in to this peg, as well as what you're gonna do to take it out. Basically, how am I gonna hold this? Okay. You're basically gonna take this string and fold it a little bit, and you're gonna get this like this, stick it there, stick it in, and trace it back in here. And it takes some practice, so at first give it slack and never feel too confident. Right here, you're gonna fold that, see? Same thing as before. Then you're gonna want to hold this and with the other hand start twisting it. And remember, the strings are gonna go around this way, around this way, and around this way, and here they're gonna go around this way, around that way, around that way. That's common sense. Little broken peg there. Got it fixed for free. It's a spare part, but it cost me less money at the shop. So here, you got all this slack right here. And that's just great. So you're gonna want to hold this as well as hold that for now to tune it. You might need 3 hands. Gotta figure out how you're gonna do it. I'm pausing the video. Usually I wind it over and under like a shoelace. That's not actually the string. I don't know what that's. This is called the nut. Usually it's made out of bone. And this is the bridge. This is the neck. This is a neck pickup. If there was a pickup right here, that would be a bridge pickup. If this is a Stratocaster or something, had a middle one, that's a middle pickup. When you hear bridge, they're talking about anything down here. When you play, mostly you want to keep your hand down here. If you want to palm mute, you might want to roll over your palm and play like this. That's if you're playing, you know, sometimes Metallica, Megadeth, special parts require certain palm muting. Sometimes Megadeth might put their palm more up here, lightly. So, going back to this, I wind it and I let it go over the spare bit the first time around. Then the second time that it goes around, I let it go under and wind itself down so that the string can wind down and increase its weight down this way instead of increasing its way up, so it can have an angle of reference to just tighten itself around this. So I let it go once over this, then I make sure to tighten it under this piece of bit right here. See? Under, over. Let it go under. Let it go over the first time, then under, so it can keep on going down, 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 down. Sometimes, as long as everything's okay and it's tight, you can kind of get the string around it the first time just to get it tighter without actually having to tighten anything, as it's kind of loose. But I'm gonna have to do this one because it's got just enough slack. Make sure you get this here. Make sure your nut, everything is intact in case you gotta replace it. This one comes off. It's the bridge piece right there. It's the bridge saddle, like a horse. So here we've got this. Should hold this, but I got the camera. It's got a little bit of tension. It's vibrating. It could pop any second, just to show you. Got it all there. I'm gonna put my finger here and tighten here. Now remember, if you take off all the strings, it's possible the neck could change position. This right here, inside of this, actually contains a rod, which they call the truss rod, which affects the position of the neck, but some truss rods don't go from point A to point B. Those are rare, those cost more. Chances are you got a truss rod that starts here, or in your case maybe in here, and it only goes up so far, and when you tighten it, it goes in or it goes out, and it straightens this part, which is called the relief. And this part is always going to have a little angle. In this case, it's not so bad. It's kind of low, which is actually quite good for practicing small guitar solos on this guitar. But it's still an acoustic. There's only so much you can go. Here I have 20 frets. Not 21, not 22, not 23, not 24. Just 20. When you're changing strings, you got to be careful that you're not getting buzz or it can wear into your frets. You got to make sure these frets are pretty small, but also they say some acoustics you should only change strings one at a time instead of taking them all off. but if you've got a nice truss rod, it doesn't matter. Just put them on, make sure that they're somewhat not too tight. And remember, as you're tightening one, another one might lose slack. So you always got to get it the strongest ones in tune first, and always leave the little one for last, or you will snap it. Once everything is in tune, you're gonna want to pull on them like this and stretch it out about once or twice and retune it, and then just play. Playing them is the best way that they'll get in shape for doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then they should keep the tune. And remember, always check before you play it, and you should be okay. See, I wound this about 4 times through. It's a heavy gauge, but it's gonna sound really nice. It's just the right size. So it's about that. I'll be back when I put the other ones on, or when there's a tricky part. Couldn't do this earlier. You have to bend this with this size thing right here, you see? Okay, now whenever you're gonna take out the strings, remember that you bent this and it's gonna get really tight around this. It's good to also polish this with lemon oil. Mine is kind of scuffed around right here, so I like to polish it, make it look brand new. When you're gonna pull this out, you're gonna want to give it slack by pushing it this way. Push it in, and suddenly this is just gonna slide in there, and this is gonna come loose. That's for changing strings back on the way out. These, normally you'd have a wound string right here on an acoustic set. This is an electric guitar set, and you have this, which is tricky. I'm gonna have to do that little part, but yeah, hopefully it all comes out good when this video comes out, because I'm pretty much running through it all at once, trying to be careful. Sorry if it's kind of boring, I just got excited earlier and fucked it all up, so I'm trying to be thorough. And yeah, this time you're gonna want to hold this while you get all this slack tightened up on this string. Looks like a little bit too much, but this can slip easily, so you got to get this right here wound around this a couple of times before you can, you know, just... Okay, ran out of memory last time somewhere throughout. It's kind of a long lesson. Sideways. Okay, like I was saying, got one string left. This string right here, you're gonna have to, it's tight now, but when it's loose, this one is kind of a coil, think of it that way, and this one is just straight. So you're gonna have to hold this and tighten it. You're gonna probably hold it by pulling on it with one hand and tightening with the other to get the tension right there, so it doesn't unwound. Alright, on this one, and especially this one. This one's really thick. This one's just a pain in the ass to tune. Your hands are gonna get sweaty. If your hand can melt chocolate, your hand can make itself sweat when you close it. So you're gonna hold this. The sweat is your guitar's worst enemy. Don't ever play it with your hands dirty. Try to wash your hands before you start, you know, bringing out the guitars. But so once you got some pressure on that right there, once it's good and well wound, you're gonna put the pressure here, right, more to the bottom, and press down on this, because before, once you're holding it here, you don't have to worry about this, but once you start tightening it all the way down the whole string length, you're gonna want to push this instead of holding it up here or anywhere, and you just hold it here and tighten it here. That's what you're gonna be doing with your hands, especially on these string, and well, most of them. And you should be okay after a while to just tighten it and have one hand free for the most part, and still got another one. But like I said, once you're tuning it, you want to start tuning these first so the neck can adjust and not put any pressure on this string or it will pop. So what you want to do once you have all of them is start tuning them. These is what pretty much holds the guitar's shape for the beginning. You want to put these kind of tight, even though this one is usually tight and this one's usually a little bit loose. You'll get to know that. But this one is tight, this one's tight, this one's loose. Once you get it all in tune, you're going to want to pull them out a bit and stretch out the string length to really get that tension, or they will start stretching out by themselves and just get out of tune. So just speed the process up, tighten them up a bit. Try not to touch them too much with your palms, because your palms are usually sweatier. You're going to get calluses on your fingertips. Your skin is going to rip off. That's good. You'll get new skin. You'll never bleed, hopefully. If you do, then I don't know. Go to Walmart and buy a dress. Just kidding. So yeah. That's how you put them on and tune it and get it all ready, and just tune it a couple times, and once all that is done, actually, hopefully here, I haven't tuned it yet, but let's just get this out of the way. You want to rip this out, right? Let's use this one right here. You want to rip this out, because that looks fugly. So you're going to go here where it comes out, and if you notice that it starts to get slack and make noise, leave it alone up until you tune it. But usually just tune it first. I'm endangering my own money here by doing this. Right there, just snapped off. So what you have is a cleanly strung guitar with nothing poking out of it. So that these can cut you. Playing the guitar won't cut you, but these can cut you, and they can poke out an eye even. So you want a clean guitar right there, like that. Not like this. That's not even good for showmanship. I don't know why people don't bother cutting that. I mean, they don't need a tool. They can just go ahead right here and do that. So that's how you do that. These are all new frets, haven't been tuned yet. If you want to learn how to tune by ear, that's great for training your ear to pitch. But for now, you're going to want to learn is that this is an E note, an A, a D, a G, a B, and an E. And not this in particular, but this string, when you just play it like that, that's an E. And when you play it right here, that's an F. So, if you've ever heard the term B sharp, that's an imaginary note. Because this is an E open. This is what makes the guitar's tuning called E standard or E open. When you play this, you get, well, you don't really get an E open, but it's just standard. So this is an E. Here's the F. There's also no E sharp, and there's no F flat. So there is F minor, which is basically, I'm not sure right now, but this is an E, F, G, A, and B, C. See, this is a half step. This is a whole step from this to this. These are all major notes. So you have an E, an F, a G, an A, and a B, and a C. See, from here you go from A to B, but from B to C you only go here, a half step. Same thing for here, E and F. That's why there's an exercise that goes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I forgot now. But you're going to want to learn E, A, D, G, B, E. And you're going to learn this. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And right here you go back to E. And this is the F again. This is the same thing as the open note. So if you were to go here and hold this down with your first finger, and play a chord with these three, if you have enough fingers left, then you would basically get the same note but an octave up. Same chord. See, this would be a G and it wouldn't sound so bad. Except you gotta build up the finger strength for bar chords because you're gonna be using them a lot. So hopefully that explains most of it, if not all of pretty much the starter stuff. You're gonna want to learn how to use a pick or how to use your fingers or both, and at least a couple songs. And if you see you have good memory for it and a talent for it, learn a lot of other songs, because I don't learn that many songs myself because I got really bad memory and not that much patience, because some songs are really hard. So if you pick easy songs, you can learn the whole song and play it back to people, and it's always fun to do that, I guess. And that's what we all learn guitar for. It's an entertainment, and it's a thing. It's boring changing strings, but I find it relaxing. That's my side of it. So, but I suggest you do learn songs, and if somebody else played it, it's playable, man. Especially if you go to Songster, everything there is playable, and it's usually almost 100% correct. And chances are most things you're looking for might be there. So, it's playable. It's easy. Something that might seem impossible now, you can learn to play it later easily. So, just if you stick with it, you can learn it right from the start. And the more you play, the more you learn things that are pretty much common sense to someone who's been playing a lot or playing for a long time. So it's up to you. It's experience, you know. Still got this string to put on, but that's about it for the video. So good luck for now. Oh, let me show you my guitars. This is my amplifier. That's the Big Papa right there. That's the 2x12 inches, 100 watt. This thing could blow down this whole fucking building. That's the baby one. That's the 25 watt. Here you got the Dean Cemetery Gates guitar. It's one of my axes. Working on that one. Adding a kill switch right here. Added these two knobs right here. It's gonna have witch hat knobs. And this is gonna be a push-pull pot, so this can either kill a signal normally, or if I pull this, it'll kill the signal, and when I turn this, it'll make the sound. So I'm basically going to be tapping along the neck and pressing this and making the sound come out when I want that special effect. And this was back here, but it's going to be here. I'm going to have to take this off and finish taking off all that polyurethane, and I think the wood underneath all this black is actually kind of pretty wood, but I'm going to put a maple veneer on that. It's all sanded and smooth. Put a maple veneer on top of that, and dye it possibly some kind of like blue jean kind of denim color, or some kind of like iguana green and yellow kind of hologram kind of thing. You look at it one way. It's all toxic crap from the shit I actually took off the paint from. These I should do push-ups on, but for now it's just holding my guitar. That's the neck. It's only 22 frets, like a Gibson. And like most other guitars, the acoustic one only has 22. The acoustic one has 20. This has 22. A Fender usually has 21. Gibsons have 22. This is the monster. This has all 24. Came with a dime bucker, Floyd Rose. Nice and simple. You turn it up or you turn it down. Turn it up or turn it off. And screw you guys, I'm going home. Again, once you're almost done, you're gonna want to put tension here, and hold this or whatever. Just always keep the tension. I forgot to mention that. Always While tightening the string on for the first time, keep the tension. Also, this is my tuner. If yours has a microphone on your computer and can detect what it is that your guitar is playing, then great. If you have to do it by ear, you're not gonna go very far. This costs about 14 bucks otherwise. There's a cigarette burn right here. Oh. So yeah. And picks, you might want to get some of these non-shiny picks. I use this one. It's a decent thickness, not too thick, kind of soft, but it's thick, and it can stand a lot of picking because it's made out of a tough material. It just lasts rubbing against the string, but it's still kind of soft. I think it'd be good for learning as long as you don't lose them. You just put them in that pocket right there, you know, that little pocket. So it has an alligator on it, and it's kind of a bluish purple. It looks dusty when you get it, but once your hand starts touching on it, it'll turn purple. Before I run out of memory, if you're gonna have an electric guitar, you're gonna need something you can plug in through your output cable to tune. In this case, I usually tune this guitar with one of those as well. It just helps when there's a lot of noise or whatnot. And yeah, here they're almost all tuned, so I'm gonna try to play something any second now. You're gonna need all the strings to be silent when you tune it. If you want to tune it a step down for later, you're gonna need to flatten it 2 times. Flatten the note 2 times, and this will go from E to D. D sharp, E. D sharp is actually the same thing. It's the note in between D and E. It goes A, B, C, D, right? Here you stop, and in between you got a D sharp or an E flat. D sharp, E flat. You're going back from E, so that makes it E flat, and you're going up from D, so that makes it D sharp. And it's somewhere in between. It's the same note. It doesn't matter. Unless when you get into the science of it, it changes into a whole bunch of other fucking notes, really, actually. So, you got that for now. And, I'm going to show you some songs and try to teach you something that you like. Teach you that tribute song. And, teach you some styles of playing. Okay, this is called D standard, D drop D tuning. Basically, like I explained a minute ago, this is an E, right? And this is also an E, and this is an E flat or an D sharp. Right here you got a D. So what if this, instead of this, F, E, E sharp, and D? What if this was a D? Well, it is. So let's say you're playing this power chord right here. You wouldn't play this here because this is a deeper tone. So you would play this or this. It still sounds a little different, but in reality what you would be playing right now would be this. This is called the slide. That's called a pull off. Pull off. there you're doing hammer-ons and palm mutes. So these are muted notes. These are palm mutes. And this, if you ever wanted to play a power chord in this tuning, it would be like this. But I'm actually gonna play a bass line from a song by a German heavy metal band called Creator, and they're legit. They're not fucking Rammstein or Frankenstein. No, these guys are the real shit, you know. And I love to jam to them. And this is a pretty epic bass intro, but I'm gonna play a version of it that I have on tap that's for guitar, cause it's kind of like a creepy, like singing close into the mic with a bass playing in the background kind of part. So you want to learn stuff like that just because it's a good exercise and your memories it. You want to leave pinky somewhere parked, so as a landmark of where your hand is gonna go, more or less. A lot of the times you want to leave that pinky, and you want to leave this here, kind of just park your palm, except when you want to this tuning is not really doing much for me right now. You know? It's called the triplet. They also call it a gallop, and you can also play it. You're gonna have to learn to play it up to 20 times, because sometimes you're gonna get a song where you have to play it 12 times, or like in a series of four times, and then 2, so you get. It's kind of weird tuning right now, so sometimes you gotta play it 2 times, sometimes once. So yeah. Basic chords. This is a bar chord. Gonna try to skip playing the string altogether. But this is a G chord. This is also a G chord. You always want to keep your hand straight as much as you can. Don't bend your hand like this, because you're gonna hurt yourself. Always keep your hand relaxed. Keep your finger right here. And this would be a G chord. Usually people play it like this, but sometimes you're going to want to have to play it like this. A lot of other chords out there. If you start learning Bob Marley songs or whatnot, he plays a lot of chords, but he plays it in a reggae style, which is but he plays it in a different style. That's more ska. But you're looking at A, B. If you notice that this A right here progresses into this B. And if you're looking at it, here you're looking at an A minor, and here you're looking at a B minor. You see what I did there? A, B. See what I did there? A minor, B minor. E, F, E minor, F minor. See what I did there? If you're looking at this, you're looking at an F sharp minor. Why? Because if this is an E and this is an F, E, F, E, F. In this case, it's D, D sharp, E, F. So you're looking at D, E, F. It's a different tuning. But here you're looking at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, E, E, E. This would be the normal note that would be playing. So you go E, A, D, G, B, E. There's a lot of bands that play songs that are real easy, like Black Sabbath. They play songs that are real easy. You're looking at, Judas Priest. That's real easy. Or Black Sabbath. This song normally plays a regular power chord. I'm going to get into the power chords. This is an E in a power chord. Why? Because you're not playing the tonic note, or actually you're not playing the third note. So this would actually be an E5, not an E minor. And this would actually be an F5, G5, A5, B5, C5. And these would just be the same notes, and they do have a third. And this is one kind of power chord, and this is another kind of power chord. So, I mean, it's great for punk rock, but you're gonna have to learn a lot of techniques. It's great when you have them connected. Doesn't sound so good on them. This is another kind of power chord. Black Sabbath uses these a lot. You see? The song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. So, Kiss. Kiss is easy. I don't remember actually. And sometimes you're gonna have the alternate picking. If you want to get used to it, you can just move the muscles on your thumb, but this